My views on Black Lives Matter. I support the Black Lives Matter movement. That should come as no surprise to family and friends. Racism is an evil that is completely unacceptable in a civilised and sophisticated world. The police in America and the UK require considerable restructuring. They never learn from the past. Remember Rodney King, a black American who was badly beaten up by racist white police officers. We had Stephen Lawrence in this country, and he was murdered by 5 white racist thugs. And the appalling way that the police responded to that crime. And of course the Macpherson report that followed the Stephen Lawrence murder. But nothing has changed, you know. I know it's a controversial thing to say, but in my opinion, the police force in this country and in America are the most racist organisations in our 2 respective countries. The murder of George Floyd was another example of many black people who have been murdered. And it's only in the age of smartphones that we're actually seeing this kind of thing happening, where video clips are being uploaded to social media. Just think about the past, all the complaints that black people made about the way they were treated by white racist police officers that nobody believed. You know, they were never given the benefit of the doubt. And today, you know, it's all being proven. We're seeing it there in front of our eyes on video clips. So the Black Lives Matter movement has my full support. Sadly, the police attract too many nasty racist bigots, and something must be done about it. I also agree with the removal of statues of insignificant slave traders and racists from a bygone age, and that includes Colston. I'm glad the people of Bristol removed his statue forcibly. Sometimes you have to take the law into your own hands, I'm afraid. Otherwise change doesn't happen, and it's only because they moved that statue that they're now talking about removing other statues. You know, people like Colston, Milligan, Dundas, slave traders and from the past. You know, they're not significant people anyway. You know, they're not major historical figures. They may have some local interest, but why we shouldn't have these statues of these people? And it is provocative to black people when you've got somebody dealing with slaves and responsible for tens of thousands of slaves being killed. They're being glorified in the form of a statue, and that they walk past this statue and they see this man, you know, who caused so much harm to black people because of the slavery trade and the way they were treated, and many of them were killed, of course. So it's they had every right to bring down that statue. I'm afraid the authorities are ignorant. They're very ignorant, and they would never have brought down these statues themselves. So, you know, you can talk about democracy, and you can talk about acting within the law all the time. That sounds great. It sounds great for the white majority, the white privileged majority. We don't have to suffer the way that black people have suffered over the years, and our other ethnic groups like Jewish people. We just had the anti-Semite row with the Labour Party over the recent years, and that's an absolute disgrace. You know, I didn't vote Labour last time because of it. I was so incensed by it. And I'm not Jewish. I'm a Catholic, and I'm not black. You know, I'm white. I'm English Iranian. I consider myself mixed race, and I'm proud of that. I'm both indigenous Anglo-Saxon and ethnic Iranian, and I'm proud of being mixed race. But you know, civilized people must stand up against the way black people are being treated by the police. It's really appalling, and those statues must be removed. Um, However, it's important that black people don't marginalise themselves by attacking great British historical icons like Churchill, Lord Nelson, Duke of Wellington, Sir Francis Drake, Sir Walter Raleigh. Um, Black people, of course, have a significant voice and must be listened to. However, the vast majority of British people in this country do happen to be white and are proud of Britain's history and iconic figures like Churchill. An attack on our giants of history is an attack on Britain itself. The black perspective is important, but the black voice is not the only voice. Moreover, I am sure many black British people do admire many of Britain's historical icons and recognise Churchill's importance in World War Two. Britain would be a very different country today if Hitler had won that war, and it's unlikely that any black person would exist in the UK. So a sensible list of statues to be removed is welcomed by me. Being British means something, and trashing our past serves no purpose. Most people are victims of their time, not an excuse, but a fact of history. Most white people foolishly believed they were superior to black people, and the way they treated black people was often appalling. The context of the time must be part of the debate. Even a great man like Churchill had his faults, but his finest hour eclipses the ignorant side of his character.